Hey. Coffee time. A bit late this morning. Sorry about that. Not anyone cares. Oh, what to talk about? That Yes video was popular over the weekend. It reminded me of the good old days when you used to get lots of hate comments. Oh, those were the good old days. Well, we won some golds. Team GB have won 3 gold medals in 5 hours with Tom Daly and Matty Lee and swimmer Adam Peaty and Tom Pidcock, who's a cross-country cyclist, enjoying gold. Well, that's good news, isn't it? It's pretty good. Just the birds are singing. There's not many good story. I'm just looking at the Mail website. All got a first world problem here. Charlie Hadley, 33, is a trans woman. He's having to go to Uber for refusing to let him change the name on his account, which means drivers constantly refer to him as Sir. Well, hasn't had the operation yet, really. Once he's been devolved of the meat and 2 veg, then we'll call him Miss. What a first world problem, eh? What a first world problem. If that's how all the problems you got in your life, then it's not a lot, is it really? Meanwhile, Wayne Rooney's in trouble because a couple of Snapchat models. What's a Snapchat model? Apparently, he's saying that they set him up and they took pictures of him in his hotel room, and it looked like he's doing the old home and away stuff, isn't he? He's saying they set him up. They're saying he didn't. Who knows? But I mean, Rooney he's got previous, isn't he? Do you remember when he was revealed he was that old boiler, that old pro? Do you remember that? So he's got previous on this. He's going to have a hard time explaining it away to poor old Colleen, who's been through so much already with him. But yeah, what is a Snapchat model? And Wayne, keep it in your trousers, son. But he's innocent. I'm sure he's innocent. At the £60 a night hotel room in Manchester, you think he'd have gone first class, wouldn't you? You think he'd have gone upper gear. But yeah. Meanwhile, in London, there was a load of conspiracy theorists doing anti-vaccines and things. They went crazy at the weekend, and one of them, Kate Shemirani. I mean, she was an ex-nurse. She's been struck off, and she's made some very strange claims at this thing. Referred to the NHS as the new Auschwitz, and that medics are complicit in genocide, should face they use a lot of Holocaust language here. It's very inflammatory and very crazy bonkers. But if your group contains this lady and Gillian McKeith and Right Said Fred and Lawrence Fox and most importantly David Icke, you know you're on the wrong side. You're on the wrong side. Oh, and of course Piers Corbyn, Oh, we don't want the vaccination. We don't want to wear the masks. It's our freedom. Yes, sure. It's also your freedom to get ill and die, and that's fine. But you should also, if you're not having the vaccination, they should say, well, when you rock up to the NHS hospital, the doctor should say, well, we're not treating you because you haven't taken any steps to, stop us getting this disease. Because again, spreading it to other people is the issue. And they should be turned away. And then they complain that their rights have been taken away from again. Again, if you live in a society, there's give and take, That's the whole point of society, is there's give and take. Otherwise, there'd be chaos. But yeah, the loonies are on the grass. aren't they? Just, and I think even her son has turned against her because she thinks he is part of the global plot orchestrated by the CIA. But they're still talking about vaccine passports for universities. And again, I'm not in favour of vaccine passports. I think it's just unnecessary. Again, I'm not in favour of forcing people to have vaccinations. But it's like Darwinism. If we don't give it, if they don't have the vaccinations, we don't force them to do it, then that strand of our society will be wiped out, and we'll get rid of all the stupid and thick people. And that's a good thing, and we will make ourselves genetically strong and pure. Wait a minute, it sounds like eugenics. I went too far that way. But no, again, I don't think you should force people into doing this. We should let common sense prevail. But there's an awful lot. Well, there's a complete lack of common sense out there, and they seem to think like if they forget, polio and smallpox and diphtheria and all other, lockjaw, that's tetanus. Has been wiped out thanks to science, bitch. Even AIDS, for fuck's sake. You've got a pill now that means you don't spread it around. Science. It's how we've lived this long. And I just look at them, you just think, crikey, yeah, let a dose of COVID run through them, and they'll change their minds. And that's when it's too late. But it's infecting other people. But I don't agree with the vaccine passports. I think that's just an unnecessary thing. Again, let's all be sensible. So I'm just trying to find some other good stories. It's all COVID. It's COVID everywhere. Meanwhile, boo, Pink, the pop star Pink, she's offered to pay the fines levied against the Norwegian women's beach handball team, or volleyball as we used to call it, beach volleyball, because they have to wear the shorts, you see, and they don't want to wear the skimpy shorts. They want to wear, and that means the bikini. To get rid of the bikini shorts, and there's no point in most people watching it. You know what I'm saying, lads? And Pink, boo, she's scappering it by going to pay their fines. Boo, boo, taking the fun out of everything. Boo. Of course, I'm joking. I think you should be able to wear whatever they want, as long as it isn't, I don't know, performance enhancing. I don't think shorts would be performance enhancing, not unless they were packed with drugs. I've probably done that before. But flood mayhem in the capital, flood mayhem. It's global warming, folks. No. Do you know what it is? It's a lot of development in London. All these mega basements and all the concrete that's been used. The natural aquifer. Oh, that sounds posh, doesn't it? The rock layer that used to absorb all the rainwater, has been kind of blocked off, and so it can't run away. Also, a lot of the drains are blocked, especially around here. They actually went around last year and was unblocking them when the pandemic was on. I noticed that Thames Water was actually going around and unblocking some of the drains, but I would imagine that a lot of these drains are blocked in London too, and a lot of the infrastructure is Victorian. All this drainage system goes back to Victorian times, and if you've got this going on, and all the people and all the buildings, and more people, you're going to see this happening. But global warming, floods, because I'm sure we used to have rain in the 1970s. I'm sure we used to have rain, and it used to be. I remember when it seemed to rain forever. We didn't have floods like this, but global warming. Global warming. It is a thing, but whether or not it's just a cyclical thing, because the planet does go through periods of hot and cold weather, and whether it's to do with us, it's all those pigs. Remember, it's those pigs. It's the pigs what done it. Meanwhile, it's been revealed that more than 250 people have been convicted of child sex abuse while working for the Scouts. That gives a whole new meaning to dib 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 dob dob dob. Just running on fumes here, folks. Running on fumes. And this is the story of Chantal Beck's back garden. There's a walnut tree that overhangs it from her neighbour, and she says that she faces court action if she trims the branches of the tree, even though nuts could kill her allergic 6-year-old daughter. Well, there's a simple solution to this: move house. We should not be inflicting people with severe allergies onto the world because we cannot protect them. But yeah, you need to move, love, and take your daughter with her. So yeah, not a good thing. Meanwhile, Noel Clarke, he of Doctor Who fame, has had more claims made against him. Oh, that ain't good. Yeah, because he sexual harassment claims. He's 45, BAFTA winning star. Was in Doctor Who with John Barrowman. More about him in a minute. And yeah, they're coming out the woodwork now. And yeah, it's like Britain's #MeToo thing. So it'd be interesting to see if that moves forward and if anything happens to him. Meanwhile, John Barrowman, who used to make a habit of getting his privates out whilst filming, he said it was just to lighten the atmosphere. Crack a joke. Small talk. Not get the meat and 2 veg out. That's not breaking the ice, is it? But anyway, he went to the cinema. I think it was at the weekend with his husband. Don't ask me how that works. This newfangled marriage thing, I don't understand. And they went to see M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong's new film, Old, where everyone gets old. It's based on a graphic novel, by the way, by a couple of Swiss writers and artists called Sandcastle, I believe. It's good. I'm not doing it. There's no notes. I'm just doing this all. But yeah, Barrowman went there and he didn't like the film, so he asked for his money back. Who the hell asked for their money back at the cinema? I mean, I can understand if you walk out halfway through. Maybe there's a film one you don't like or is disgusting, it's a horror film, and you might leave early and say, "Can I get a refund? I want to watch Mickey Mouse instead." I can understand that, but who sits through the entire movie and then demands their money back? I mean, I imagine Barrowman was probably the same fella during lockdown saying, "We've got to save the arts." Not if Barrowman has anything to do with it, or Freddie Freeloader. But then he's a jock. Perpetuating the stereotype there, Mr. Barrowman. Okay, de nous. So yeah, that was a thing. Yeah, there's not much else to say. I mean, I could talk about Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez are back together, but that's not really a story, is it? No, not a story. No. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, blimey. Not that. That's it. Lots of fights in fast food restaurants. Did you see that footage of Spider-Man in Asda? I think it was Asda. That was awful. Luckily, he's going down for it. But I didn't bother. That happened on Friday, so that was yesterday's news. Anyway, I doubt if anyone's in the chat room. Let's have a look. Oh, there are. John's in. Pegasus is in. How many guitars are behind you? I don't know. One. Page says, I'm worried the vaccines will create a 2-tier system. Well, yeah, there's those with and those without. The thing is oh, God. If you want to turn the world into, I don't know, a third world country, then don't take the vaccine. It's as simple as that, And I know people say, oh, but there's only like 1% chance of dying with it. Yeah, but, it's not necessarily about you. It's about spreading it to other people. And also the whole variant issue, because you can still create variants, apparently, from this one. This one likes replicating itself. It still has serious repercussions. And again, as somebody who now finds himself in a vulnerable category, I'm like, yeah, get vaccinated because I don't want you infecting me. Because even though I'm double vaccinated, I could still end up in hospital because of my diabetes diagnosis. So, I don't care about you dying. I worry about me dying. So I'm being utterly selfish about this because I want everything to be as normal as possible, even though it doesn't affect me because I don't want to be around crowded, germy people. So David says, from your experience, what does effective guitar practice feel like physically and mentally? physically, well, at the very beginning, it's physically quite hard. And I guess mentally tiring, I suppose. But if you become as good as me, there's no physical out. You just do it mentally. I feel good after it. I usually feel good for playing. I guess there's like an endorphin rush if you play and you enjoy it. I enjoy playing guitar. I enjoy noodling around. So I get. I enjoy it. Yeah, there are times when you think, I ain't got any ideas, but I don't. You get that with everything, but I don't tend to have that so much because again, with age, you don't get precious about things. As you get older, you go, yeah, just gonna have fun with it. Again, what people forget with musical instruments is we play guitar, we play keyboards, we play the drums. Play indicates that it should be a joyful thing. You don't work at guitar, you don't work at the drums. You play. There should be an element of playfulness and joy and experimentation. So if it doesn't necessarily go how you expect it to go, you should embrace that. You should embrace the mistakes and embrace your limitations as well. Again, I think a lot of people get frustrated with instruments that they'll never be as good as, I don't know, think of a good guitarist. Yngwie Malmsteen. There you go. I think that's is that a guitarist or is it a urinary tract infection? I'm not sure, but you might not be good as him. But then he's a freak of nature, you see, and we should learn to embrace our limitations and work within that and be as good as you can be within that. I think a lot of people get frustrated with guitar or any instrument for that matter because they can't be as good as, they compare themselves. And the worst thing you should do is compare yourself to another guitarist. And it's the same with singing or any creative pursuit you do. You've got to find your own voice and your own way of expression rather than trying to copy other people. Yeah, you can use people as influence and that can take you to various creative inroads, but I think people can get a bit too hung up on being brilliant, whereas that'll do, pig. It's like lunchtime, isn't it? Padge says, I believe in global warming, but I think it's natural, and but I do think we're speeding up. Well, it's natural again. The sun, the influence of the sun can have a lot of it. If there's a lot of solar activity or inactivity, we could find ourselves in, either end. We could be in an ice age if the sun cools for a bit. Whether or not it's all down to us, it could be, but. Well, I mean, crikey, again, I've been going on about this See, the problem with me is I'm a bit of a fatalist because we've been going on about this since I was a lad. It's like for 50 years they've been talking about this, and it's probably been before that. So it's not a new idea that, environmental concerns should be at the forefront of our thought. But in that time, all I've seen is the proliferation of the motor car, proliferation of air travel in places like China, proliferation of industry, which is some industries aren't particularly environmentally friendly. It's a problem, and I don't see us fixing it anytime soon. Even like we're talking about electric cars. The thing about electric cars is they need to be powered. Where does the power come from? Power stations. Well, unless everything is green power. Or nuclear. Again, nuclear power is safe. The only thing is disposing of the nuclear rods afterwards. But it can be a safe, clean fuel. And then with the electric cars, the batteries that they take, how are they going to dispose of them? And the future, we're going to see mountains and mountains of car batteries that can't be disposed of because any battery is very environmentally harmful to try and dispose of them. And that will be the next thing. And really, in my mind, I'm thinking maybe we should go hydrogen cars. I think electric cars is good, but we need solar powered electric cars. It needs to be a bit more practical. And there's a benefit and there's always a negative to everything we do as a race. And I don't think people necessarily think 2 steps ahead. Any time is coffee time indeed. Padge says Drake Bell from Drake and Josh got done the other day. I don't know who that is. Barryman is always getting his todger out. Exactly. Pico's in. Good day to you. Wodsley's in. Do I like grunge back in the day? I thought it was necessary. Whether I liked it was another matter. It all depends who it was. I mean, I didn't mind Nirvana. I thought I liked them because they were random and you never knew what they were going to do. You know what Kurt Cobain was going to get up to. So I thought that was interesting. I think again there was a bit of again you had to be there. There was a bit of an oversaturation with them back in the day, but I always thought that they were exciting. I didn't like some of the others. I like Pearl Jam as well. I thought they were interesting, but some of the others, the also rans, I thought were a bit. It's like derivative coattail sort of thing. But I thought it was a necessary music movement after, well, what we had in the UK, like the predominant dance music and lots of sampling. There was a period of music between about 88 and 91, which was just, it was really not good. So I thought it was necessary. It's like a palate cleanser. And then we saw, the likes of Blur and Oasis and the guitar bands return in the UK. So yeah, that kind of followed on the coattails of grunge over here. I don't think it had anything to do with it. It's just, it was like a precursor to it. That's how I remember it anyway, but it might be different. Piccolo says, what are the CDs with the rainbow spines? Those ones? I don't know. I don't know. Does anybody know what they are? Patch says, Oasis weren't influenced by the Beatles. They were copying them. Well, why not? If you're going to copy a band, copy the Beatles. The best band ever. Everybody knows that. And on that bombshell, please go and watch the recent Yes video, because that went down well. It went down well with some people, but then there were some people who seemed to think that Francis Monkman ripped off Jeffrey Downes, which is like, yeah. You got to remember, Jeffrey Downes was in Asia and made millions and millions of pounds in his heyday and could have easily taken Francis Monkman to court if that was the case, but and then people justify it and go, well, there's nothing wrong with that. Usually the Italians who have no understanding of copyright, you can always tell if someone's Italian because they go, copying, it's fine, we can do that, there's nothing wrong with that. It's part of their culture. Mamma mia, that's a spicy meatball. Anyway, I think I've alienated everyone this morning. Thank you for watching. Hopefully we'll do this all again. And CDs on the other side of my head. What, this side? I can't. Well, those are my CDs there. Don't forget, you can buy them. You can buy those. Those ones are a genuine Darren Lock product. Do buy them. Go to music.darrenlock.com and buy your Darren Lock CDs. That is my current stock there. My music's so shit, I can't even give the fucking CDs away. There you go. But thanks for playing. It's been lovely. We'll do this all again soon. So I'm going to toddle off now. Don't forget to drink it up. That's my new catchphrase for coffee time.